Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the bet review show for UFC 246, Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone. We're going to talk about 5 plays that we have on this card. We went 4-1 overall, including the 3 plays. A great night of betting overall. So those of you that made the purchase on Wagertalk, those of you that watched the video, hopefully all of you also profited as well. So we'll get into the first play that we had was on Conor McGregor to defeat Donald Cerrone. We had him to actually win the fight, as well as bet him via KO. So we won on both plays there. Conor McGregor minus 215, also bet him at minus 290, as well as the method of victory via KO was minus 180, 190, depending where you got it. Great way to start this year off, knocking out 2 wins on Conor McGregor, and really overall there in this fight, when you take a look at it, Conor McGregor, you know his striking, you know his left hand, you know his distance management, you know that there's a lot of great weapons that he has. But really starting out that fight, I thought was very interesting that they kind of collided early in that fight, and then Conor throws that weird shoulder shot onto Donald's nose, broke his nose. Which the first shot I wasn't sure if it really landed too hard, and then he threw that second and third shot. One kind of hit his head. It was almost like Cerrone kind of thought that he would just stop doing that. It was almost like he got hit once and okay, I'm gonna kind of work the grappling again, and they already got hit again. Working the grappling again, and then he kind of disengaged. At that point, he disengaged. His nose was busted up, and he was already hurt, you could tell. Conor was able to land some big shots and put him away in 40 seconds. A great showing overall for Conor. This was a fight that we liked Conor absolutely a lot here. Was able to cash on both of those bets on Conor McGregor to win, minus 215, as well as the method of victory, minus 180. 2 wins there on the main event. The other one that we were able to cash in on was on Holly Holm to defeat Raquel Pennington. This was again another one here where I did like, although Holly is getting up in age and she's not what she maybe used to be because she's lost some fights against some tough opponents overall. Same thing with Pennington. She's a little bit younger at 31, and you know what? She's tough. She's got that ability to go forward. She takes shots, keeps working, and that's really what Pennington does. But when you look at what Holly does overall, she's technically a lot better, a lot more sound than Raquel Pennington. And I really thought this was going to be one where Holly would, we bet in this fight. I did like also Holly by decision, but we bet Holly here straight big, and it was one where I thought that she was going to be able to really go into there, and most of it really bouncing around the cage. 1-2 shots, moving around the cage, staying away from Pennington. And that was, she went and she engaged consistently, Holly. She went out there, got her against the cage, was able to comfortably put her against the cage for most of that fight. And that was something that I thought maybe wouldn't really favor Holly when they're in there. I know Holly's strong and she's got that toughness as well, but I thought it would be, Raquel Pennington would maybe look to make this a dirty fight, would get in tight, land some shots, and where Holly would look to do more of the kickboxing. And her comfort zone was absolutely up against the cage, had her against the cage. It wasn't pretty. I gotta say, it was not a pretty win. The crowd was booing in spots where, Holly had the advantage, just kind of working. As long as she was working landing shots, I think that was enough to just keep the ref away from breaking it up. But it was nice to see Holly continuing to get, those wins, winning those rounds consistently, and even going to decision, you just never know. But it was good to see Holly Holm did get us a victory there on a decision at minus 142. So there you have it, another winner. Now the other plays that we had were Sadiq Youssef versus Andre Fili. This was one that was on Wagertalk, and this was here at a minus 130. We had Youssef. We were able to cash in on that as well. This was a fight here where I do believe that Fili is a good fighter. He's got good boxing, and he's the kind of guy that's willing to stand toe-to-toe. He's willing to stand and trade, and he'll look to actually for those takedowns. And Youssef has had, coming into this fight, 100% takedown defense. He had a lot of great things about him. He's stronger. I think he's got more power, and that Fili would be looking to stand in striking distance with Youssef. And that, I thought, would be a terrible spot for Fili, because Fili likes to go inside, and fire and really stay in the pocket. And that's something, again, that Youssef would love to do with that power and with that strength, and he was able to land that jab very consistently. I thought that was a big spot that he kept doing. He kept landing that jab, setting the tone, and a couple of the jabs he actually looked to stun Fili. That just shows how much power that Youssef has. And even when he went for the takedown, he got him down, and I was surprised that Fili was able to get him down a few times, but you saw that Youssef had that strength, bounces back up very quickly, was able to quickly get up and really just disengage and go back to what he was doing and working it. And he had the first 2 rounds. I felt comfortable that second round. He easily had it. That first round was close, but I thought that he edged it out. And the fact that it sounded like even the corner meant for Youssef going into that third round, sounded like they wanted him to take the foot off the gas. Just, hey, you've got this fight. You've got the win. Just kind of survive. I thought that's not the best way to go here, but that's what he did, and he ended up kind of taking that round off, gave it to Fili. I was hoping that the first round was his, but it was actually Youssef did get us that decision victory, so we cash in again. The only fight that we did lose on the card, which made us 4-1, was we had Nasrat versus Drew Dober. We bet Nasrat here. This was the biggest favorite that we had of all 5 plays, and it was disappointing when we start the night out. And Nasrat, I'm saying this guy's going to have a nice knockout win. He's going to really go out there, put a stamp on it. You know, Dober's tough. But this is really Nasrat. He's a young kid. He's 24. A lot of things I like about him. His speed, his power also. He's got great hand speed. And going to that fight in this first round, it wasn't a long fight, but, you know, Nasrat, you know, he looked comfortable, threw a leg kick. Dober kind of, you know, stumbled around and, you know, didn't really land. You know, they were kind of just, you know, pitter-pattering shots. And then all of a sudden, you know, Nasrat is looking to throw these monster haymakers. I mean, he was so out of position throwing these shots that even that one shot he threw, Dober, you know, slipped away. Nasrat almost fell down throwing an overhand right, I believe it was. That right there just was a terrible sign. I'm saying this guy's looking for to start this card out with a big knockout. He's not letting it come to him like he did against Silva. The fight that I attended against Silva, that first round, Silva was firing shots, and Nasrat kind of took the round off, kind of almost calculating what was going to happen. In that second round, he just picked apart Silva, ended up KOing him in that second round. I was hoping that was going to happen here, and he looked to that first round. He just looked to just land the big shot, left himself open. Dober caught him on the chin, put him away. Very disappointing to start off the card that way, but then hitting the next 4 really made things very profitable here. So overall, we went 4-1 on our picks, including the free plays and the plays on Wagertalk overall. So 4-1, definitely, you know, hopefully you guys, you know, made some profit as well, took some of these picks, starting the year off great here on in 2020, going 4-1. So this is the Bet Review Show. We will have our next prediction show out. Definitely subscribe if you've not yet done so. Give it a like. And again, you can follow me on Twitter at Kyle Anthony UFC. And this is Kyle Anthony's UFC Betting Show, and I'll see you next time.